I'm speaking with Ann Hanlin, who lives in Maryland, and she was fifth in the 2024 inaugural English Mustang Classic held in Lexington, Kentucky, and she rode QR Code. I love that name. Great name for a horse. But we're going to back up a little bit. I want you to talk about you. How did you get involved with horses, and how did that become Mustangs?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor to be on today. So I grew up a horse girl. My mom was a small animal vet tech and my dad was a farrier. So it's kind of in my DNA, I guess you could say. I'm pretty certain I could ride a horse before I could walk. But I've kind of done all sorts of things, grew up fox hunting, did some hunter jumpers, and then transitioned into eventing with my Chicatique pony. And after that transition, I didn't really go back to the hunter jumper world, just kind of stuck with fox hunting and eventing. So like I said, I had my heart horse of 20, just shy of 20 years. He was a quarter horse warm blood cross. And I lost him, unfortunately, in January 2018. And that's kind of what led me on my journey to the Mustangs. I got on the BLM internet auction website and instantly fell in love with Woodrow, who's my first Mustang. I won his very competitive bid back in February 2018, and I brought him home in April 2018 and just never expected this journey to become what it's become. But the Mustangs are a huge passion of mine, and that's pretty much all I do now.
Well, I think that's fabulous. And it was perfect then for you to enter this competition. So let's talk about the competition. What was it like? Share with our audience what you went through to actually get that fifth place ribbon.
Yeah, so it was hard. I would love to sugarcoat it, but I'm not that type. I'm a very honest, kind of straight shooter. And Q, I think, was around Mustang 25 for me. So he certainly was not my first. I had a good bit of experience with some different herd management areas and different, personalities. But he was definitely, still is, one of my hardest Mustangs that I've done. One of the hardest horses I've worked with, actually, in general. He, was a $25 sale authority, plain bay, kind of ugly, sitting in the pens at Ewing. And I had a friend that was getting a horse for her husband for the Vegas challenge. And I said, oh, find something for me. So she had Meg find something. And again, I didn't love his look, but I was kind of desperate because I'm not a 100-day trainer and I wanted a little extra time. So from Illinois to Michigan and then Michigan to Maryland, he found his way to me. And I go through the alphabet with my Mustang names. So I was on the letter Q and I couldn't come up with anything but quirky. So I didn't want that to stick with him. And his barn name is Q. And when my vet came to do his Coggin, she's like, well, what's his show name? I was like, QR code. So I have created a nonprofit for the Mustangs called the Maryland Mustang Mission and done a lot of work with QR codes and learned a lot about all the wonderful technology that we have. So it was just a very fitting timeline. That's how he got his name, and that's kind of how I came across him.
So when you actually were in the competition, what was that like?
It was amazing. I mean, as an eventer, it's kind of every eventer's dream to ride in the Rolex arena, right? I mean, what an incredible experience, what an incredible environment. The Kentucky Horse Park is absolutely amazing. So when I saw that they were having it there and being on the East Coast and being someone that's so passionate about the Mustangs and really trying to advocate for them here on the East Coast, especially in the English disciplines, I thought, wow, this is great. I have to do this, right? I have to get signed up. I have to get a horse. So just to be able to actually show up, that was my number one goal. Especially because, like I said, he was very difficult. By day 5, we hit a brick wall and he acted like he didn't know who I was. So it was like starting all over again, but in the negatives. So for me to actually show up and pull into the horse park with a horse on the trailer was a win in my eyes. And so I I was thrilled. Again, I was thrilled to be there. I know some of the competitors that went, they were like, a Rolex Arena, what's that? But being an eventer and really advocating for these Mustangs in the eventing world, it was just so special to actually show up to the first ever English, makeover for the Mustangs and then be there with a horse that I was really proud of. It's amazing what the upper level people do to get to Rolex, but to be able to get there with a Mustang that wasn't even a year out of the wild was really special.
All right, well, let's jump to the importance of this program. And the real idea is to let people know we need to adopt Mustangs. We need to save these Mustangs. So share with the audience why that is so important.
Yeah, I mean, even before Mustang Champions became something, I've been advocating all along. I was involved with the Mustang Heritage Foundation as a tip trainer and also hosting the tip challenges. And then when that kind of all crumbled, that's when I started the nonprofit for the Maryland Mustang Mission to continue that on. And just kind of, all come together and just support each other. And to have an event like the Mustang Champions is just so special because they do the challenge with the Western in Vegas, and then they come a little further east and do the English. And it's just so special. I mean, these Mustangs are absolutely amazing. They need us. They're so versatile. I know there was a whole probably dozen or so there that had done Vegas and then came and did the English, which was really cool to watch them just show their versatility. And the Mustangs they can do anything as long as you have their trust, and you take that time to build that relationship. They'll go to the end of the earth for you. I have one that will do Western dressage. The next day he'll trail ride. The next day he'll event and jump. And they're just amazing horses. I could go on and on and on about how incredible they are and how awesome it is to be a part of the Mustang Champions and just support their mission and what their vision is for the Mustangs.
Well, to those of you who are viewing us now, remember this. Remember that we need to do something about these Mustangs that are out there, and this is the program for you. So think about adopting a Mustang or encouraging someone else to do that. So I want to thank you very much, Anne, for chatting with me. Do you have any last words?
No, go out and adopt a Mustang and have fun. Enjoy the process.
Absolutely. If I could, I would too.
Yeah, it's a great journey.
I am Diana DeRosa reporting for the EQUUS Television Network.